Welcome to Time for Hope, a ministry of Hope for Living Media Church, with your host and pastor, Dr. Frida Cruz. Join Dr. Frida and her guests as they discuss both real life and spiritual issues and offer scriptural, professional, and practical advice and application for any and all life situations.
Thank you for joining me for another edition of Time for Hope, a ministry of Hope for Living Media Church and Bible Study Time Incorporated. I'm Dr. Frida Cruz, your host and pastor, and today I would like to welcome author and professional speaker Jane Dailey. Jane and I will be discussing a book that she has written titled The Caregiving Season, subtitled Finding Grace to Honor Your Aging Parents. Jane has found through experience that it is possible to navigate through the guilt, exhaustion, and frustration of dealing with aging parents with the grace that comes from depending on Christ. In her book, Jane considers all the practical issues in caregiving, from mourning losses through dementia and other disabling issues, handling medical and financial matters, and last are dying wishes, while dealing with other uncomfortable situations faced by a caregiver. Please stay with us as Jane and I go deeper into this subject of caregiving and reveal how you can have peace and victory with the help of Jesus Christ in any caregiving situation. Jane, it's great having you on Time for Hope.
Thank you.
And we know that many people today are facing the issue that you have written about, and that is taking care of aging parents. We know that people, as a general rule, used to die younger and earlier. But as medical science has advanced and whatever else I don't know, people are living longer. But it doesn't keep them from becoming disabled in the process. At some point, all of us, have to think, well, how is it going to end for me?
Right.
Is it going to be suddenly, or am I going to need, an assisted living, or am I going to want to stay at home until the end? And all of these questions that you have taken up in your book. So that we stay on track, I'm going to ask you this: what is your hope for the information that you have put into your book, relating your experience with your caregiving experience with your own parents? What is your hope for our viewers?
What I found in talking with my friends, because I'm in that baby boomer generation, most of my friends are also in the situation of having to care for one or both of their parents, whether it's hands-on care or whether it's just checking in, making sure that they're eating properly. So I found that most of us are unprepared for that role. We expect our parents to be that vibrant person that's always been, and we've all of a sudden we're trying to navigate this new role, and we're unprepared. I wanted to give others who are in the same situation some hope that they will be able to rely on the sufficiency of Christ.
And isn't that bottom line in any situation that we face in life?
That is, yes.
There's never a time that we don't need the sufficiency of Christ. And when we try to do it on our own without that, it usually spells failure. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that I've been through this, but I've losing both parents, and I lost my father he was 73, and then my mother outlived him for 16 years. But driving, I was 5.5 hours away from them. I was a pilot at the time, and I could fly, and that was a 2-hour flying trip that I took many times in getting down, especially helping care for my father. But I was fortunate, and you bring that out in your book, that I had two sisters there, and I have a brother. But the two sisters became the hands-on caregiver. One of them lived very close to my parents, and the other one actually some of the time lived with my parents as a result of a divorce. But she had double duty in that she was working and caring for both parents at one time, and my dad being the most ill and dying first and so forth. But I traveled down one way or the other as much as I could, and I have so appreciated God giving me that opportunity to be able to be a part of, we want to call it, their last days, and walking with them through their illnesses and their last days.
In that final season.
In that final season.
And typically, what you said about your sisters, whichever child lives closest to the parents is the one who slips into that caregiving role, many times without even consciously taking a step in that direction. It just happens. First, we're checking on them every day to make sure that they're okay. Then we're making sure that they eat properly. Then making sure that their medications. And so it's this gradual shifting into the role that what I found was all of a sudden I'm in this role and I'm on a little boat in the middle of the ocean and couldn't navigate.
Did you look for good books, or did you look for anything that had been written at that time?
I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know that there was help out there because I think I was in denial. I was in denial that my dad was ill, because my dad was my hero. He was my encourager, and he was my rock. And then to find that he was ill, my conscious mind couldn't face the fact that he was in his 80s and he was failing.
So you actually say in your book that we have to face the fact at some point it's going to happen with our parents, but it can slip up on us if we're not prepared, so to speak, or if we don't realize that we need to prepare for that time with our parents, because it's going to happen. However long they live, it's going to happen. Now, we were fortunate in that my dad was terminally ill in his latter years, and the doctors were very plain and clear with him about it, and we were told and informed, and he knew it, and he handled it so well. I always think of him teaching me actually how it can be handled, so to speak.
What a blessing.
He handled it so well. He had become a Christian later in life, and but he was good about reading and about just learning about life in general. With a 6th grade education, he had raised us and taught us and that kind of thing. And you kind of, that way it doesn't slip up on you. The doctors told us at one time, said, whatever he wants to do, let him do it. Wherever he wants to go, let him go. He only has, a certain number of years, as it were, to live. And we did. We took the doctor's advice and enjoyed him while he was able to be enjoyed. And then I had the privilege, I had just finished my degrees and was counseling, and I had the privilege of him being the oldest and very close to him, and him sharing with me all that was going on with him. Now, my sisters were there, and they were there more than I was, but he looked forward to the time that I would go for periods of time and stay, and one of the things that I would say, and here I am taking from your book, listen to what they have to share. Listen to the questions they have to ask, too. Yes.
We enjoyed talking to my dad about what it was like growing up on a farm in Pennsylvania during the Depression. And his answer was always, "What depression?" He said, "We raised our own food and we had our cows and our chickens." And he said, really didn't know that there was a depression. But so it was fun to share with him in the last couple of years, just to get him to talk, to get him to step out of that pain that he was in for so long, because he was ill for a long time.
Well, we never, as parents, we never cease to be role models, do we?
No.
So he was a role model for you, is what you're saying, even in his last years.
Right. And as my mother continues to be at 93, of how to continually walk with the Lord and how to continually rely on Him every day, because she's ready to go, but every day she wakes up and says, "Okay, well, who can I pray for today?"
Oh, that goes a long ways, looking away from ourselves to others, doesn't it? I know my great-grandparents on my dad's side, both sets, all four, way back then, lived to be in their 90s. In fact, my first child was the first great-great-grandchild of one of my great-grandmothers, and she wanted to see her before she died.
Oh, that's so precious.
Yeah, we can have these precious memories in the midst of with our aging parents, and we need to grasp on to what they have to offer us with the memories, don't you think?
I agree.
You agree with that? They're telling me it's time for a break, and we will be right back. My mom and dad married very young. Since I arrived during their first year of marriage, I kind of grew up with them, so they always appeared young to me. I could never visualize them growing old, but it did happen. My father began to experience health issues at an early age and eventually was diagnosed with a terminal illness that would expand over several years and eventually required full-time caregiving. When I was able to travel home, I have great memories of the hours I spent with my father in his last few years. He did not leave a stone unturned related to what he was experiencing and his final wishes. I was fortunate that two sisters lived close by, and one of them actually lived with my parents and assumed the role of primary caregiver. Later, she accepted the same role for my mother, who survived my father by 16 years. I will be forever grateful to her for stepping up to the plate, since she also worked full-time and assumed a double role until she retired. I traveled home as often as I could to try and relieve her and my other sister so they could take a break from the 24 hours a day responsibilities. I learned a lot by caregiving from my personal experience with my parents and from providing a supportive role for my sisters. I was always consulted when critical decisions had to be made, and I appreciated their thoughtfulness and willingness to accept my suggestions or insights. I noted with great concern the stress that my sister Estelle experienced through the years of providing care for both parents. I would often express my concern and suggest ways that she could and needed to do to care for herself. I sometimes wondered if she would fall under the load and possibly predecease my mother. I observed for a good period of time after the passing of my mom that along with her grief, she experienced some debilitating health issues that I believe were the direct result of prolonged stress. Jesus Christ, the great caregiver, while on earth, regularly retreated from the crowds for periods of rest, relaxing with friends, and prayer. This is a must for all caregivers. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We're talking with Jane Dailey about her book, The Caregiving Season. And then I'm going to have to look at the book, Finding Grace to Honor Your Aging Parents. So they added a lot to the title of your book, didn't they? And it does take grace. It does. And you have put into your book, what are the things that causes us to have or need grace or need God? One of the things is we're looking at what's ahead for ourselves, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes. Wondering if who's going to take care of me when I'm in that position, and are they going to show grace to me? So how can I show grace? But how can I not show grace? I mean, the Bible's very clear.
Parents.
Honor your father and your mother, for this is the first commandment with a promise.
And it doesn't say until you get grown, does it?
Or until they get until they annoy you.
Yes, and they can. And they can sometimes intend to, and other times they don't intend to do that. In reading about your mom, it seems like she'll do it and then be sorry.
She knows which buttons to push, and she means well, but sometimes I am required to find that grace that I need to be able to have a soft answer.
Yes. My mom could go and come, as it were. She could be good as gold, and then she could be kind of cutting with some of, her remarks. But she didn't overly require from us. But I did identify with you and your husband with the wheelchair. We would get her to take her out to eat. There was the folding of the wheelchair and putting it in the car, and then.
It's a process.
It's a process that you go through, but my husband and I were always very happy to do it. We didn't go through that with my dad. He became too ill and was confined to bed, and so on and so forth. But he had he had his mind to the very last. That was. But Mother had the dementia, so we had two different kinds of situations to deal with. My mother knew it was coming on, the dementia, because she said to me one day, she said, "Frida, I don't remember as well as I used to." And then the day that she told me that she knew the names of my 3 children, but she didn't any longer know the names of her grandchildren, so I mean my grandchildren that she had come to know at one time. But I was thankful she could remember my 3 children, and she even lost that. She had 2 kinds of dementia, and so it came on pretty severe before she passed.
Well, in dementia, there's no cure, there's no reversal, and the brain actually gets holes in it. So, things don't connect, and you can't ask them sometimes even a simple question of "How are you?" because there's no way for them to process that. A speaker I heard said, when you're with someone who has dementia, just say, "You look beautiful today. We're going to go to the store," or "We're going to go to the doctor." Not "Do you want to?" because that's a question that they can't answer. Thankfully, my parents don't have dementia, but my grandma did.
Well, with my mother, we kids, we were grown, of course. I had children of our own and so forth. We'd be talking and maybe laughing about something that had to do with our dad. And you know what? She'd say, "Well, who was he? Who was he? Was I married to him?" That hurt.
That's heartbreaking.
And we said, "Mom, he was your husband. He was our father," And it is heartbreaking with the dementia. But in some ways, I think my mother used the dementia. There had been some pain in the marriage at one time, and I'm not sure that she, that even though they lived together to the end. I'm not sure how much, but she didn't know who my dad was, and that's kind of
one of the blessings, I guess.
Yeah, it can be a blessing, but that doesn't mean that it was, a really bad relationship. There was just, she just didn't remember my dad is what it came down to. Then the decisions that you talk about in this book, we had to make those with my mom. And that is when to take the car. Oh my goodness, that was a toughie, wasn't it?
Oh, that was the hardest thing I have ever done.
Away from them.
From my dad. Yes, I remember just struggling over that so much. Mike and I talking about it and wondering, we've made a decision for my dad. How can I do that? I'm not the parent. He's the parent.
But we do become. It's a switching of roles is what it actually becomes to.
And that's the thing that's so difficult about caregiving is taking on the role of making decisions for our parents that we're used to making for our own children, and now we're making them for someone who used to make them for us. That's the part that is heart-wrenching, and we can't help but second guess ourselves and feel guilty.
We had to make it, and we had to tell my mom, and she fought us on it. You can't drive anymore. The doctor says it's not safe for you to drive anymore. So we had that decision to make, and that will be decisions that other caregivers have to make. And then finally, even with the two sisters close, the time came when Mom couldn't stay at home anymore. She couldn't, and them work. They were working towards retirement. And so I was there when this decision had to be made. We were at the doctor's office, and he said, the doctor said to me, your mom, we were talking about some things that had just happened where she'd been hurt and that kind of thing. And he said, well, she really needs to be in a nursing home. And I said, well, why isn't she? Because, see, I wasn't in on all of this all the time. And he said, well, because she hasn't consented, and apparently my sisters had not consented or asked any questions about this. And he said, but I would advise that she be put in a nursing home. That's where she needs to be. I said, okay, then that we can do that. Where would you advise us for her to go? And he already knew. He said, let me call and see if they have an opening. And I said, so he did, and they did. And I said, well, that decision's made. So when Mother heard all of this, of course, and she didn't like it a little bit.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, she didn't like it a little bit. How do you handle those kinds of things? I know how I handled it. How would you handle it?
Well, that's one of the things that we need to address as caregivers is having those conversations way before you need to have them. And discussing what will you do, Mom or Dad, when you can no longer take care of yourself? What do you want to have happen?
We're getting short on time, but I love the way you bring out in your book that it involves siblings and sometimes rivalry between the siblings. It involves your marriage and making sure you don't lose your marriage in the process. Your husband seemed to be so supportive of you and right with you, and my husband was also through it with both parents. You know, having gone through it, I don't think you left a stone unturned about what a caregiver goes through in taking care of their aging parents. And I want you to know I really appreciate your book.
Thank you.
And that you're reaching out to help other people with what you have had the privilege of going through and learning as you go and sharing what you've learned with others. And I highly recommend Jane's book to those of you that are knowing that you're facing this situation or that it will eventually come. And so make sure that for the rest of Jane's story, and it's in this book, that you get a copy. And Jane, I really appreciate
Thank you
again,
very much.
you. Thanks so much. And I do pray the Lord's blessings on your ministry.
Thank you.
And I have something to share related to this from a viewer. Dear Dr. Frida, please pray for me for healing for anxiety and depression. I have been taking care of my husband who has dementia. Until recently, I had to put him in a nursing home. I am also very tired from running back and forth to the home, and you can identify, I guess, with that, can't you? And so we have prayed for you. Be assured we have taken this prayer request to our Heavenly Father. We'll do it with yours. If you send in a prayer request, we'll take it straight to our Heavenly Father, who can intervene and give you the grace and the strength that you're asking for with your anxiety and depression of caring for your husband at this time. And then I have an encouraging note from a viewer. I watch Time for Hope all the time. I think you and your program are a blessing, and thank you so much for that. And I'm sure you're going to get a blessing from what we've shared with Jane today, and you will get a great blessing if you make sure that you get a copy of her book. She's done a great job with it. And then if you have not helped us financially, or you are helping us financially with this program, thank you so much. We appreciate it very much. And if you haven't, I pray that you will consider doing so as we meet our financial obligations of carrying this program, Time for Hope, across the world and helping people, as Jane will be doing in her book and has done on the show with me today. And then the next request I have from you is to make sure that you tune in again next week, or turn on again next week for another edition of Time for Hope.
A free fact sheet that contains additional information about today's topic is available upon request from our ministry. You can also receive a copy of today's resource for a donation of at least $17 to the Time for Hope ministry. Any additional donation you wish to send will be greatly appreciated. Call us at 800-669-9133. Write us at Post Office Box 2169, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. Or visit our website at timeforhope.org. As we continue to give out messages of hope, a financial gift of any amount to support this ministry will be greatly appreciated. When you send us a gift, you are joining us in offering hope to many viewers seeking help and hope for their situations, and enabling us to inform and inspire viewers to expand our mission as they learn and in turn can minister more effectively to hurting people around them. Look for Dr. Frida's Scriptural Devotions on our Time for Hope TV Ministry Facebook page. Thank you for watching Time for Hope, a ministry of Hope for Living Media Church and Bible Study Time Incorporated. Until next time, have a great week, and remember, it is time for hope.